Hi everyone. Welcome to this Playformance session. It's been 3 years now that we are doing this at IndieCade Europe. It's a very special moment for us, and I hope for you. The performers that you will see tonight are not only playing a game, but they are trying to share some experiences they had with you through the game. So it can be fun, but it can also be moving, intimate, or even disturbing. So be aware that some of the topics of the game can be sensitive to some of you. There are some trigger warning words that are written on this screen, so if you feel uncomfortable, don't hesitate to leave. This said, we are starting with a game about a very naughty goose storming a very quiet city. And to control the goose, we are welcoming Emilie, Rinna, concept artist at Creative Assembly in the UK by day, and serial honker by night. Please give her a very huge round of applause, please.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Yes, perfect. So first I just want to thank Simon Bachelier, who's just right here, for inviting me. I'm really happy I'm here to play UNTITLED GOOSE game in front of you. It's going to be really tricky for me because I'm going to try to multitask. But hopefully it's going to be fun. So my goal for this Playformance is that I've never played the game before. I really tried not to spoil it for myself, even though it blew up the internet recently. It's quite a new game. How many of you have played the game already? Ah, okay, well, there's still a lot of people who have never played the game, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna discover it with you, and I want you guys get involved because I'm gonna try to talk and play the game, and I'm gonna discover it. And you know, I might not get it right first time, so it's going to be a lot of trials and errors. And shout at me if I'm like really struggling, and just tell me what to do, okay? So I hope that's going to be fun. Let's see what I can do now. So I've been told that I have to honk, you know, so I'm going to try to do it as much as possible. All right, here she is. So the other reason why I picked this game is that it looks very nice and it looks very different from what I do on a day-to-day basis at work in terms of art direction. So it's very refreshing for me to play those indie games that bring some kind of freshness to the world of video games. I think I have to pick this thing. So it's very refreshing for me to play those really nice crafted games with a very I'm so bad at this. Okay, I got it. All right. What can I do with a boot? There is a broken bike. What would you do? Nothing. Okay, let's try something else. Keep it forever. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it forever. That would be, oh, okay, yeah, she can run, amazing. Okay, so I've got no idea where I have to go, so let's try to figure this out without getting stuck. Oh, Yeah, I've been told that the music is incredible and really cool. I just... oh, gonna eat someone's lunch. Oh my god, it's not as easy. Okay. Okay, I can honk even with a sandwich in my mouth. That's great. Okay. All right. Okay, that's not where I want to go. So yeah, compared to other playformance you'll be seeing tonight, I don't have any deep meaning, to be honest. Any deep things to talk about. I just wanted to have a fun game that is quite different from other games to play and just to laugh about it. Just try to... Okay, that's not working really well. I just want to find some humans to be naughty with, you know? Come on, where are they? Okay. Okay, let's just try to... It's working. Yes? Perfect. Oh my god. Run, run, run! Can I just close the portal? No, I just wanted to close the door, but I can't. God, this guy is gonna hate me. Is he back? Oh my god. No, 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 no. Ah, that was a fail. No, 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 no. Oh god, no, no. Ah, no. I've got no idea where to put this thing. God, it's gonna catch me. I don't run fast enough. Oh my god. Just want to say that the animation is very cool. It's so funny. Okay. I wonder if I can just steal his keys? No. Okay, let's try to find something else. I think I need to go either here or there. Do you have any idea, guys? Oh. Sorry, okay, so I don't play on Xbox, so I have no idea. Where is select on the... Sorry if you speak all at the same time. All right, okay, okay. Thanks. I have a PlayStation 4, so... Okay, so get the groundskeeper wet, steal the groundskeeper keys, rake in the lake, have a picnic. Let's do that. Bring to the picnic blanket, sandwich, apple, pumpkins. All right, okay. Ah, no, no, no. Okay, but this guy is just gonna be way too fast. I think the picnic blanket was this way. Oh, no, no. All right. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, no, no. No, no, no. So, I'm trying. I don't. Ah! I got them. No, no, no. Got them. Got them. Got them. Ah! I keep dropping them. It's just annoying. Okay, I'm not very good with the controller as well. Just completely goofy, but I guess it suits to the tone of the game. Okay. Sorry? Well, yeah, maybe. All right. Come back here. Got it! Oh my God! No! Just dancing. Okay, come on. Oh my God, I'm so bad. Okay, maybe I'm gonna... Okay, let's just do the picnic thing for now. Where is the radio? It was there. Ah, no. Okay, let's try that again. No. Oh, wait. Thermos, yes, I need it as well. So, do you know if she's got a name, the Goose, or it's just the Goose? Untitled, okay, well, yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game, not the name of the... Aha! Ah! Thanks! That's cool. That feels like a real achievement, you know, because usually you just get the notification. Oh my gosh! No! Does that count or no? Okay, so I've got to. No, no, no! Stop! Okay, that's not gonna be as easy as I thought. Oh, but thank you. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Cool. Oh, but no, I can't. Can I open the garden? Oh yes, okay. I wanted to close the door, but that was a really bad turn. I'm quite proud. All right. Okay. On the left? There is another exit? Ah. You've been keeping this secret forever. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now I need just to avoid the guy. Okay, we're good. There we go. All right. Let's get this carrot back now. Ah, there's one here. Too easy. Okay, let's check the list. Sandwich, apple, radio, basket. Really? Oh, yeah. Oh, eagle eye. No, he's not very happy. Oh. All right. Can I put the apple in the basket? No. Ah. All right. First mission almost accomplished. Ah, the German. Yeah, okay. Okay. I got too excited. Sorry? The sandwich is already there. Ah, okay. I mean, okay, cool. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so I can't open. Okay, right. Of course, if the guy can go. Can the guy go through the hole as well? The human? No? He's not following you? I mean, the guy, he can't go through the... No? Okay. I mean, could crouch. Okay, jam or radio? Okay. Okay, because you want... Okay, is it not easy to take on the table? That's why? They need to push stuff. Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, no. Ah! This is brilliant. Oop, oop, oop. Cool. Oh, the pumpkin. Oh. Where's the pumpkin? Ah, yeah, cool. Okay. Bye. Oh. Okay. I need to be quicker. To be honest, I'm quite surprised that, I mean, the guy is not horrible with me, that is not kicking me, you know? Yeah, okay, spoilers. Oh, no. Of course. Okay, so I'm gonna have to create a diversion. Uh, run for it, yeah? Sorry? If I spill water on it, is it gonna break it? Oh, maybe I can. Okay, okay. For the people who've never played the game, would you go and play it? Were there anyone who never heard of this game before? No, you obviously... Yeah, yeah, come on. Cool. Thank you very much. All right, what's the next thing? Rake in the lake, okay. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, a rake is a râteau, yes? Cool. Ah, yeah. Here it is. Oh. So that's how, okay. Oh. Of course. Reminds me this meme of this dog who's trying to get this massive trunk through a barrier. I just doesn't understand. Okay, well that's me right now. Oh my god. All right. Do you think I can pass it over the... Pardon? Okay, so it's okay. The door is the only solution for the rake. Yeah. I mean, okay, can't see anything. Stuck. Okay. Maybe, okay, I've got an idea. Let's see if that works. Okay, maybe that's not gonna be the best solution. It's just gonna wait for me. For me. Oh, so I can't jump if I've got something. I think. Okay. All right, let's find the keys and let's see. Come on. Oh. come on, open the door. Human. No! Oh my god. Okay. That's not what I was expecting. Who told me to drop the keys in the lake? Come on. And I can what? Oh, yeah, but... Okay, yeah, it's not gonna... Okay, let's try that. Okay. That's a massive fail. Thank you, sorry. It's for him. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to run. Oh, but... Okay. How did I do the first time? It was already open, right? Excuse me? Oh, yeah. Yeah, very true. Thank you. Okay, so I'm horrible at those kind of puzzle games, you know? I stopped at Myst, you know, like years ago. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna be the end of my performance. So thank you very much, guys, for helping me out, because I would have been stuck forever. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Ok, ça marche. Ok. C'est bon. On m'entend? On m'entend. Ok. I'm a cheater. I have my notes because my English is perfect. Hello everybody. I'm William. I'm the editor-in-chief of Game Science Story. It's an independent and volunteer website which speaks of indie games since 2011. I'm going to show you a game that is very important to me, and the name is PROTEUS. PROTEUS is created by David Kanaga and Ed Key. It's funny because PROTEUS is, for me, the key to opening the most interesting door in the world of indie games. To get into the game, there is no start button. You just have to move your cursor to the island on the menu and click on it to travel there. Wow. In PROTEUS, you explore a totally free world, and you have no specific purpose. The game has a beginning, right here, but you don't have to end the game. Little guy. Even if you don't play and stay still, some events can happen. We will expand that a few times in this play, and that's why I will sit down in the game, right? That when I have something to say. Oh, little guy. I will follow this little guy. The living creatures you discover in the game are not catchable. They are not collectible animals. They do not feed you. They do not reward you. The reward is to have discovered them. Them and the way they move, the sound they make. And I am on the top of this mountain. Okay, big jump. Each sound, each music is totally random for each game you launch. Right now, not right now. I will try to follow an yeah. Right now, we listen atmospheric tune. And if you launch the game, maybe you will obtain another musical ambience. With these sounds, PROTEUS has just rewarded us for taking the time to discover and watch the world around us. Yeah. I can follow him, and it will be very sad because poof. It's mean, I know, but it's Yeah, I'm a true gamer. I have killed an animal. It's like an Ubisoft game. Maybe I can loot this animal to make to have a jump feature, but no. The 4 seasons is on PROTEUS, but it's up to you to understand how to access them as you explore, and the game will never help you understand it. Yeah, some rain. I will go. Right now, each drop of rain that touches an object in the world makes a small sound. All these things make music. The player did nothing to get this music. He is only a spectator. I will try to find a spot with some objects to make some music. But I don't find no good spot. Oh, maybe here. Yeah. Oh. You can play in many ways on PROTEUS. If we keep quiet, close our eyes, listen to the environment of PROTEUS, we can move around the world to point of interest. Right now, I listen a sound. I will try to close my eyes and try to find the animals or the event who make the sound. I try. Okay. Obviously, no sound. I hear something. With the sound, I know the night is coming. And it's a good way to relax you with a video game. Okay. I listen nothing. Okay. The night is coming. Okay. Right now, we've just seen one of the many random discoveries. The game always has control over the player in a benevolent way. It does not force him to find the goal at all. It's just here to entertain him, reward him for his time. And right now, I can wait and see what's going. I will move. Oh. I will try to find anything interesting. Yeah. Oh. Where are you? Left. Right. Oh no. Okay. Ah. It's very difficult to find the sounds. Yeah. Right here. I see you. No? Okay. I will try to find a good spot. Yeah. Sit down. We are at a crucial moment in the history of video game development. Our medium is now popular, and that's what we wanted for years. However, PROTEUS is not famous. It is famous for me. It may be famous for you. In the world of indie game, it was rewarded many times, but the mainstream audience doesn't know it. PROTEUS is an important game in the history of video game. For example, my desire to talk about indie games, my website, my presence here, all this, with my paper, all this would not have been possible without all that PROTEUS offered me during these long walks. I will wait. Yeah. It's very beautiful. Yeah, little buddy. Okay. Together, we have experienced 15 minutes, maybe less, of PROTEUS, and we still have many things to discover in this world. Also, it was a calm and relaxing experience. There is not much open world that offers this right now on the video game industry. I'm not lucky because I want to show you the rain and the sound, but I don't find any rainy sound. Not lucky. Oh. You see this stone? If I hit this stone, I obtain a sound. Sometimes. Yeah. And it's one of the many mysteries of the game. Okay. Finally, to leave the game, you must hold the escape button or the select button long enough. We close your eyes. We decide to leave this world. The game never kicks us out. We are always welcome. Sorry for that. How can we talk about cinema without talking about Godard and Truffaut's Nouvelle Vague? How can we talk about literature without discussing the movement of the Nouveau Roman? Independent gaming is now an important, maybe the most important artistic movement for video game creativity. It is time, before we forget the facts, to share its history. Thank you.
You ready? Are you starting? Thanks for anladen. But I want us to show. This is okay. I can turn it off again. Okay. So are we just starting?
Please take note that during our performance, we will be reading from texts that include some strong language. We will also bring up some difficult points on communities and shared forgetting. As a care measure, we will be distributing our business cards during the presentation. Note that the business cards contain the following ingredients. Please feel free not to take one if you don't want to. That's completely okay.
Dire jank is the sublime worlds that blossom in the trash. And if they're a little radioactive, it's because those are the materials we had to work with. Trash has memory, strata. It doesn't disappear when you flush it. It just changes into a gyre patch or the rings of a tree or another nation's problem or a kid's epigenetic traits. On the internet, people refashion it into something better, or at least weirder. We're like, oh my God, feed me that trash that I threw away, that I literally, figuratively shed out of my asshole, because you're better at working with trash than we are at spending billions of dollars. Pocket worlds, to shelter you from the neurotoxin rain. The worlds we deserved as children. Jank is the inevitable disconnect between real life and systems that simulate life. Jank is when software stutters and a video game character's face falls off. In this era of hyper-photo-realism, everything leaks jank. The harder they try to simulate everything, the more weird and broken it all feels. Nothing has the luxury of simply being itself. Jank has a wide and foggy etymology, but I've mostly encountered it in gaming culture. It can just mean shitty or busted, but my favorite connotation is fun, but suboptimal. Like picking a bad character in a fighting game because you love their look. People have been separated from the means to be human, to circulate their feelings through their bodies, to determine their future, to control their housing. In this void, corporations and net idols replace real community, offering a mythical pool where you drink, but are never sated. Why quote lyrics? They're meant to be heard with music. It would be like telling you about a friend by showing you a printout of their genetic data.
you're like, well, we've been making games all the, but it's true. Like, there's like this forced detachment from history that we have. So like, what forces do you see at play there?
Well, I mean, one thing obviously is like, I'm running click and play in a Windows XP virtual machine because there's almost no other way to do it. It's really awkward. Like when I started Glorious Trainwrecks, it was not entirely as awkward to use click and play as it is now, because for lots of various boring technical reasons, right? Like there's this obsolescence that happens where it's like, and I mean, games in general loves to bury their past.
Literally.
Games crushed by a steamroller. At Lelystad Airport, in front of a hangar filled with old planes, a giant pile of Game Boy games was dropped on the ground. Piles of boxes filled with brand new games stood at the side of the hangar. A giant antique steamroller sat whistling and fuming just before the start of the trail of games on the ground. He wouldn't know. That would be such a waste. Fake games. This destruction of so many games is not without reason. The more than 10,000 games that were crushed by the roller were counterfeit Nintendo games, perfectly reproduced, including the packaging and the Nintendo seal of quality. But fakes, nonetheless. The fake games came from Hong Kong and were intercepted by custom authorities in the Netherlands.
Right? Like,
I think, but what is interesting, or what I guess was sad to me, is how that story that you told of like going from click and play to whatever now, and maybe we can draw this like kind of line to like unity or whatever. It's like this kind of like this killing of idiosyncrasy in the tools. And I feel like what has been really upsetting to me as a person who doesn't make tools, is not a programmer, is how much tools, like people have been ripping personality from tools themselves.
yeah.
And that I can't have a conversation. And that's because I have an arts background, and you're usually like, cool, like let me mess around with this very particular kind of pen. Or let me mess around with this very particular kind of material and find its affordances, right? And so with the click and play, you're kind of like trying to understand the tool itself, and it's like weird, it's weird logics, where I feel like now like kind of tools in their own way are being disciplined into kind of being soulless themselves, right?
Definitely. Right, it's just the accessibility is not there. And there's this huge force, again, like in huge kind of, I don't know, whatever forces that just kind of like, okay, you built this toy, and like people, your audience who bought this thing is now demanding it not be a toy anymore, and like you're leaving people behind.
I think of the pieces in this exhibit as knowing voids, letting you rest with their contradictions until they fling themselves apart like rocks in a washing machine. The willingness of art to break is underrated, when the goal of the century is to keep you hooked to a constant drip of content that you show loyalty toward. The willingness to break says, I can't be a surrogate friend. I can't fill the hole in your heart. It leads you back to real life. I am defined as in between, in flux, as occupying no fixed position. Post-truth, according to past truth claims. Because the existence of subjects like me has long been brutally suppressed, I lack the vocabulary to coherently speak my truth. And so, I reach into myth and neologisms and into ruptures where cultural mores have lapsed and something akin to me can be glimpsed. This creates an imperfect lexicon of fragments and smears, but nevertheless I must express.
I've been sitting alone for hours, waiting for you to bring your ugliest parts to me. I've been naming our thorns for hours, hoping you'll treat them as kindly as you treated me. Oh, I've been thinking like a beast for hours, wondering if you like the challenge of grooming me. After I glamour you for hours, will you have the strength to extinguish me? Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me, closer to me. Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me, closer to me, close to me. Boy, I'm hungry, but all my knives are dull. Will you sharpen your teeth to hunt and keep me full? Oh, hard to keep me full. When you're burned out and your brain prayed for rain, can I wish for flood? Is that okay? Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. Closer to me. Every time you lie, you'll find yourself deeper inside of me. Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. Closer to me. Why would you stay this long if you didn't want me? Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. Closer to me. Don't act like I don't bring so much joy to you. Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. You'll find yourself close to me, closer to me. Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. Closer to me. Each time you deny my message, you'll find yourself closer to me. Closer to me. Close to me.
I want to just quickly also say thank you to all the volunteers that helped us set all this up, and of course also to the organizers. Thank you for having us. Thank you for Simon for inviting us, and I hope you enjoyed the tea.
Good evening. Good evening. I hope you're all doing great. Well, for me, it was quite a painful year, in fact. It took me quite some time to find exactly what to talk about, and I just wish I had something grand to talk about, like a juicy take on an obscure type of game, or an expose about why dress-up games are some of the most important game of my childhood and one of the most underrated one. But I just can't. My mind doesn't work, does not want to cooperate. And I promise one day I will make this talk about dress-up games and gender and why it was important in the exploration of my identity. But right now, the only things I've got for you, the only things I've been able to write down are some rumblings, some disjointed thoughts about how, after 5 years of school, I spiraled down, how losing my tight routine made me drown. I am Nico. I work as a freelance pixel artist, and this is Routine Fit. So, welcome. and hold fast, because this will be quite a painful one. Just a quick disclaimer before I really start. I'm going to talk about feeling depressed to the point of barely being able to work, or going to talk about loneliness, about gender, about other heavy and really personal subjects. So if you are sensitive to any of the subjects, I really invite you to just go outside, to go grab a drink, go play some games, and wait for the next one, or just have a lovely time with your friends. And if you are going through some of it, I guess I understand how it feels. And please hold fast, because the storm will pass. Also, I will try my best to avoid naming it depression, because I'm not formally diagnosed. I've barely been able to go outside during this whole year, so unfortunately the therapist had to wait. Right, so there is this thing we call routine, which can equally be helpful and help you keep going forward. But it can also be terrifying, and you can feel trapped. During my 5 years at school, I've lived with my parents, and I still do. And I had to take public transports every day. So as you can guess, my routine was quite ordered and tight. Wake up early in the morning and go outside at around 7:30 a.m. to roll and smoke a cigarette. Arrive at the big city, smoke again, waiting for the tramway. Smoke a cigarette and arrive at school at around 9 a.m. Work or try not to fall asleep during the rest of the day, depending on the mood or the work to do. And leave at 6:30 p.m. Same things, arrive at home at 7:30 and see you tomorrow. And for the most part, it was okay. Sure, it was exhausting. It left me with barely enough free time to improve my skills, or to make my games, or to work on any other things. And it did not improve at all my already low self-esteem. I should have missed a lot of parties, but I'm not an hyper-social person, so it was not that bad. And I still had some friends around my hometown, so it was okay. Sure, I had to stop playing theater at some point. It became too hard to do both school and that, but I could deal with that. Now, you see, for 5 years, the bus was my routine. Every day at the same place, at the same time, same people, same roads. After a few years of taking the bus every day, you stop being a stranger. You become one of the usuals. People who take the bus with you every day know you. Sometimes you talk, you know some of the names, some of the faces, and you become part of the bus in a way. I took 2 different buses every day. One in the morning, which was full with students and people working at the big city. I used to take this seat, the one which is right behind the driver, the one which faced the rest of the bus. So every day I could view the bus. Looking at people with music in my ear was the joy of my day. The bus is a bubble. And after a few days, you know where the usuals are sitting and from which city they enter the bus. You know which one will light up a cigarette after the journey. You know who come in groups, who is always alone, who is nice, who is rude. And some even become friends after a while. And trust me, the friends you make in the bus are some of the best kind of friends. And the most important bus was the express line, the one I took in the afternoon. This one made barely no stops between the big city and my hometown. It was a really quick one. And it was mostly empty except for me and a lady We used to talk every day for 5 years. She's autistic, not working exactly like other people, and she had it way worse than me. She was working in an even bigger city, and so she had way more time in public transports than me. She woke up earlier, and she still had to walk about 20 minutes after to her home at the end of the day. She talked about the same things, about Disney, about animation movies. She was a huge nerd for animation movies. About glasses, about how shit her home was, about how shit her job was, how shit her parents were, how many people were wearing glasses in the bus. When there was a new person waiting for the bus, she directly get to talk to them. And asking not directly the name, but more the numbers of letter which was in the name and the date, the day of their birth. So she could try to guess what the name was. And I tried to keep an eye on her, to just talk with her, be kind with her. At some point, the bus driver told her to stop annoying the clients, like he said, because she was talking with everyone. So. And I really hope she's doing all right today. And for a while, she nicknamed me Milo, like the hero of the movie The Atlantid. Because for a while, I was wearing bow ties every day, and it was a really good friend. And the years passing, my thoughts started to get louder and louder. I started to feel trapped by this routine. It took me quite some time to realize that, but during my last year at school, I already was starting to drown, dragged down by heavy waves. And she was there. She was kind of an humble lighthouse, always there on the same dim rock. She was a constant fixed point through the waves of my thoughts. Always there, always the same. She was a kind yet broken friend for 5 years. And I now realize that I know more things about her, about my friend in the bus, than about most people I've been at school with for 5 years. I guess I've always tried to maintain a certain distance between me and other people. After all, you never know. Someone you can trust can stab you in the back. Someone you open up to can use that against you, right? You never know. There might be sharks in the water. My last year at school was quite paradoxical. I mean, I was with a lovely team, great people, really kind, with a really healthy management. It was a pleasure to work with them. And I was working with the product I wanted to work on. Like I said, working with them was fantastic. But cracks were starting to get deeper, and I already was starting to drown. I started to work slower and slower and wake up with this pain in my stomach. I started to feel people looking at me. Started to fear the bus. After school, I wanted to work as a freelance. I felt trapped by this routine, and I just wanted to escape. I started to do pixel art during game jams a few years back, and I guess I wasn't that bad at it. And anyway, I had no time to improve my skills, so I came back home late, and then I was just mostly sleeping the rest of the weekend. And I like doing it, so why not give it a shot? And in the end, like every other job I've ever wanted to do, I just wanted to do a job where people could leave me alone. took me ages to realize or understand why, but just wanted to avoid people from seeing me, from looking at me. Just a solitaire, I told myself. The truth is, I've been struggling with gender since about forever. And for the few people who know me well, this is not a secret at all. I mean, I went to my school gala wearing a dress twice. I harvested grapes wearing a skirt. And the photo I sent to the IndieCade is of me wearing lipstick. And this is not a coming out at all. I just don't know who I am and I'm not ready for it. It was just important to explain how this year went bad. I realized way too late that this school routine was my way to cope with it, to put it aside for a while. And I was afraid by it, terrified, and I still mostly am. I never knew how to put these feelings into words. And I told myself, maybe these feelings and the thoughts will go away after a while. And other people's problems are more important, right? You have to work. Nobody has time for your identity crisis. It will go away. We'll see later. Always later. When I lost this routine, I entered unknown waters. Administration, paperwork, contracts, a whole new complicated word I knew nothing about. I wanted to move, to visit friends, to go outside. But money was tight and I was drowning, and I lost my way to cope with my problem, and they came back right to my face like waves crashing down the shore. But you don't realize that when you are on that boat. The water rises up slowly, swallowing you little by little, making each one of your moves harder and harder. At first, you simply struggle with simple things. You wake up late, you find it hard to concentrate on your work, you compare yourself constantly to other people, you start to be terrified in the bus, or to even go out of your home. So you do like you've always done. Just brush it off and wait for the storm to pass. And if you wait long enough, it should all go away, right? It was just a bad day after all. But it was not. And it doesn't go away. You get swallowed by the waters, you lost your fire, you lost your joy, everything becomes painful. Why should I keep working if I can't do it in time? And maybe I'm just bad at it. Am I really getting paid to do that? Just feel like stealing. I'm working on great games with super skilled folks, but why me? Why should I keep working if I can't feel the joy anymore? I used to love that, and I still do sometimes. Why can't I see myself in the mirror anymore? Why should I go outside and people will just look at me and mock me? Why do these insect legs you call hair keep growing and piercing through my skin? Why should I keep these relationships if I can't even love my own self? Am I lying to them about who I am? Yeah, I definitely am. Never answer to them, never again. Never send a message, never go out. And what if you have to come out one day? Okay, far too many people. Less people is better, easier to manage. Days are the same, again and again. Oh sure, sometimes you feel good. One time you managed to go outside to have a drink. One time you went for a walk in the fields and even bought makeup. One day you saw a trailer of a game you've worked on, and it felt great for a while to see some of the assets you've made alongside the work of super skilled people. And you had the relationship for a few months. It was great, probably the best times of this year. At least until the waves came back and you've fucked everything up. Stop sending messages. Like you always do. Okay, the real bit of advice of this performance. If you are in a relationship, no matter what kind of relationship, don't do that. It's not cool at all. After school, I told myself, great, this is it. You've survived school. No more bus for you. Find some contract, you make a bit of money, and in a few months you should be stable. You could rent a place you can call home, and everything will be okay. You will make this game you ever wanted to do about trains. You will have time to explore who you are and carefully understand. You'll fly to Denmark to see your ex-girlfriend you haven't seen in 5 years, to walk by the sea, listen to Bowie's songs, and drink some tea. But I did none of that. And things are not okay. But I'm getting better a bit. I mean, I've been better at work this few weeks. I start to slowly accept who I am and what work will need to be done about that. And I will see a therapist soon, which is great. I probably will take a break too after this contract. I've barely talked to anyone during 1 year, and here I am, talking in front of everyone. And if you are going through some of it, a friend of mine told me something a month ago. It really was one of the simplest messages. They told me, just, I understand. And if you ever need help or someone to talk to, just let me know. And trust me, I've been through there, so you just can't keep going like that. If you work on it, it will get better. Now, go get some rest. And if you are out there in the storm, I hope you can find someone to talk to. A friend, a therapist, just someone. And please, please, hold fast. Because it gets better. Someone told me. And I hope to see you soon in more quiet and calm waters. See you soon, captains.
Au moins, il y aura des mèmes. So hi, and thank you for coming to my performance. It really means the world to me. It's my first public appearance, so I'm a little bit scared. Don't mind me as I just stare at my notes because I'm unable to go off script. I wanted to thank IndieCade staff members for having me today. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I hope I'll deliver something you'll like. The game contains some audio jump scares. Please pay attention as I will raise my hand to prevent you from them.
Lost, alone, hopeless. You probably deserve it. But even for you, there is still a way to bring it all back. The one precious thing you ever truly desired. Finish it.
I first wanted to make an analysis of this game and tell you why I found its representation of mental illness really bad. But the further I went, the more I found this approach kind of useless and pessimistic. I like being critical of the media I love, but I asked myself, what did you like about the performance you saw? And the answer is some told personal stories. And seeing people vulnerable inspired me. Instead of criticizing what Layers of Fear does, I preferred to use its content to tell something more personal and positive, I hope. So yeah. Layers of Fear covers 3 subjects that have or still had or still has importance in my everyday life. Being an artist, mental health, and abusive behavior and violence. Here, you are more precisely dealing with the trope of being a mad, tortured artist. You're playing a successful classical painter who just came back home, mumbling to himself that he has to finish his magnum opus. For people who don't know what a magnum opus is, it's a definition for the greatest work of an artist's career or a work of outstanding creativity. You can also call it a masterpiece. Here, magnum opus stands for I have to sacrifice myself and everything around me to succeed at being a recognized artist. And this is a pretty common storyline for an artist, mad tortured artist trope. Sorry. These stereotypes talks to many artists I know. Will I be able to finish my work? Will people understand what I try to represent? Will the night I spent on this painting allow me to finish it? Pushing my limits and refusing to listen to what my body says makes me stronger. Does dealing with pain add something to what I create? And not so far from this trope. Will drugs and alcohol help me when I'm out of inspiration? I could give you many examples of stories about artists growing more and more depressed and spiraling further into obsession and madness. I had in mind L'Œuvre by Émile Zola, or The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I was really happy to find this one in the corner of the room. I also have more real example, like, I don't know, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse. But it often comes with that weird glorification of these people and how they managed to accomplish their work. I saw many media portraying artists with a fragile mental health, traumas and abusive, and with traumas and abusive behavior, towards people. Because being disabled and traumatized brings only sadness, anger, and overreactions. Layers of Fear chose a scary and stereotyped portrayal of schizophrenia to justify its gameplay and how its main character falls into madness. Instead of exploring what it means to cope with mental illness, they choose to use it as a convenient plot point to justify the hallucinations how our painters having. It becomes so much easier when it's in your head. I had various mental health disabilities diagnosed before finding the help I needed. Portraying disability like that and bad representation discouraged me from getting help. I really turned my back on medical help during a long time. Of course, there were some other issues, but it was enough for me to develop some negative biases. This type of portrayal is also discourage the public at large from seeking further understanding. Jump scare. I don't remember. But let me tell you, being mentally ill does not make us automatically violent. In fact, what the fuck? We are more likely to be the victims of violence. Finding a way to understand what's going on is sure a long path. It takes time, but it doesn't have to be what Layers of Fear pictures, a never-ending series of riddle and self-destructive behavior.
The thought alone that the most beautiful piece of art doesn't have my name on it is killing me. So, will you marry me?
Isolating myself from the people I love was part of the process. I was also ignoring signs of toxic behavior in order to fit in. The more I felt isolated, the more I was giving excuses to people being violent towards me. I've tried many times to project myself in these tortured characters. In Layers of Fear, having someone with alcoholism, inspiration issues, and bad mental health in the game really talked to my heart. But spoiler alert. I couldn't feel respect nor empathy for an abusive and violent man who beats his wife. He also blames everyone for the pain he's going through. Je vois pas trop. Quel enfer. It's so dark. Yes. And he also abuses people who love and respect him. I think reinforcing the idea that those who suffer from mental illness are broken or otherwise dangerous keeps us away from understanding the manipulative and painful hold it can have on your life. It's giving an easy escape for people trying to justify violence.
Now, a tiny bit to the left. Yes, just like that. Hold that pose. I want to get all those lovely curves just right.
And this is what scary games and many others do, hiding systemic violence by putting a sticker with madness written on it. Those of us who have mental health issues and don't serially abuse people are going to have our lives questioned because of these harmful tropes. We are being taught to fear these issues, not to understand it. So I was afraid to be vulnerable and taking the risk to let people hurt me. It cost me a lot of energy and even money to be able to find the help I needed. You have to know that in France, we have a long way to go before being able to help and protect disabled people, even if I'm optimistic. I was working a lot, and having a break was not an option, as I needed to pay my bills and my healthcare, which are two things that really scare me. You see, you don't have to bring a disabled person in there. In January this year, I had a diagnosis. I had a diagnosis on the autism spectrum. And nothing in my life really changed. I still had the same issues, but at least I knew why I felt so off and why I was so harsh with myself. Processing this diagnosis was hard, but things got better.
First, I looked for a canvas. Not just any canvas. I had to find a knife. Not one of those bread ones. It needed to be as sharp as a razor. So I used a razor, in fact, and then carefully flayed the skin. Booze helped keep my hand steady.
It took me almost 3 years to get here, and I need you to realize that not everyone will have the chance, because yes, I find myself quite lucky. The money nor the energy to get medical and emotional support. This is why I try to be vocal about all of this. I don't want to hear only successful stories or believe that with a lot of work, everything will be okay. As a game dev, I started to question much more how I wanted to work and how we could be better without using damaging tropes. I was really happy to see some people in this industry talking about their struggle. When discussing a topic as sensitive and misunderstood as mental health, empathy and understanding are crucial. I managed to get closer to artists and people who were open on the subject. It didn't solve my everyday problems. But having people telling me it's okay to feel that way, I was there too, was everything to me. Being surrounded like that naturally kept me away from abusive people, wanting to gaslight me or use my work.
Why did you stop? That tune was perfect. Honey, please, just a little longer. At least until I finish painting this one part. Oh, don't make me beg.
But every time I fell back into a dark place, I had to start all over again. But I knew that the more I failed, the better I was to protect myself and others. Even with the medical diagnosis, people turned me down, saying things like, you just went from specialists to another to get the diagnosis you wanted. But the thing is, the thing I've learned is you and only you can understand and know what's inside of your head, which feelings you're dealing with. I've seen too many people being gaslighted about how hard it was for them. It's okay to not understand all of it. Feeling down doesn't make you any different to anyone else. But please, try to not turn you down or deny the help you might need. I know how it can be difficult when you're feeling misunderstood and isolated. Vague cliches and fictional situations keep us away from real disabilities with real names, like depression, anorexia, borderline personality disorder, bipolarity. And many more. If you encounter a game that deals with a representation of mental health, chances are it's a scary game. And I saw how game dev are perfectly aware of psychiatry and psychology when it comes to give players feelings or gameplay. A lot of this history of horror is deeply founded in the idea that disabilities are ethic. And people are still making a lot of money with that. And I can't really see money in hospitals or psychiatry or new infrastructures. But I've seen people around me seeking help, talking about their struggles and consulting medical experts. As an example, in the video game industry, I saw some changes on how we see our indie developers. I find the solo indie dev myth as a modern tortured artist trope. I mean, congratulations if you're developing your game alone. I do really admire you. But please, don't restrain yourself to seek help because you need to have this as a life achievement. There's a jump scare here, but I don't know when it comes, so please. Yes. I really wanted to say here, you can still appreciate a game like Layers of Fear and questioning why it can have a toxic grip on our life. And being vocal about these subjects can help people. It can help them to feel more right about it. Since I started to be more critical of the games I play, I've learned to be more respectful towards me and my diagnosis and the work of others. It doesn't have to be pessimistic or negative. And even if you're doing that, I personally won't defend the game against your feelings. Yes, I want to have fun, pushing pixels around, but I also care about the intricacies of mental health as applied to virtual characters. I deeply care about how it can affect us and how I can change this bad representation for a more inclusive society. Because this portrait in games reflects how we as a society perceive these issues. Remember that there is no shame in seeking help. I felt that I should never burden others with my problems, but it took only few people with experience in mental health to challenge the stigma. And I hope I'm being one of them today. Thank you for coming and your time. Just a special thanks to people who helped me and inspired me until today. You're giving me the strength to stand for a more inclusive environment in the industry I love. Yes.
Merci à tous. So thank you all. We are starting tomorrow at 10 o'clock with a keynote by Teen Bench. So see you tomorrow.